Good morning. Welcome to Talk20 Raw and Real. This is our first official video. That's not an intro or some other thing. Unfortunately, part of our team could not be here today. Mimi, she had an unfortunate situation. She's okay, but she couldn't join us today. So our talk today, like we discussed, was going to be on emotional wellness. So it's going to be like a two-parter, because what she had to say was very, very important. So we're only going to do part of what we were going to discuss today, which I think is very important. So it worked out. It's going to be a two-parter. My name is Angela Peterson. This is Paula Lyon. Yes. And we are at Nature's Presence Health Food Store in Boerne, Texas. And we are here just talking raw and real about subjects that we love, that we're passionate about, that we have experience about. And like I said, our talk today is on emotions. And I first want to say, so I don't have to write it in the comments, I am not a doctor. I'm not here to diagnose any medical, emotional diagnosis of mental health. Did that come out right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not doing that. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychologist. I did not go to that kind of school. I went to life experience school. And what I'm talking about is our everyday emotions that we go through.
Yes.
And do our emotions, do we take charge of our own emotions, or do our emotions take charge of us? And that's what I'm talking about. And I will give you an experience that happened in my life that changed my entire destination, and it was because of one emotional thought. So I'm just learning this as I go, and I'm passionate, I'm fired up about it, and I want to talk to you guys about it, because there's got to be somebody out there that can relate to what I'm saying and that hadn't heard about this stuff before. We don't get taught emotions in growing up or in school or in churches for that matter. So how many times do we go through life and we're living by how we feel? So that's kind of what I want to talk about today. And then at the end, Paula will talk about, you see some products up here that can kind of help us with our basic emotional health. So I got my little notes because, like I said, I'm learning. And as I learn, I'm going to talk to you about it. So I'm just excited. So I want to make sure I say everything correctly. And but we were designed to have emotions.
Exactly.
We were designed
How
to have
boring
emotions.
would life be?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we wouldn't feel passion if we didn't have emotions.
That's right.
We wouldn't feel anger if we weren't supposed to have emotions. I mean, how would we know if somebody was treating us wrong if we didn't feel anger? But it's, what do we do with that?
Exactly.
When we feel anger? And I wanted to ask, have you ever really thought about what emotions are? I mean, I've heard it my whole life, but what are emotions really? Do we really know? I mean, unless you went to school, I guess, for it. But have you really thought about it? Emotions are feelings on the inside designed to move you in a direction. And I had to hear that twice before it clicked in, so I'll say it again. Feelings on the inside are designed to move you in a direction.
Whether it be positive or negative.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Positive or negative. So we're going to talk about negative today because there's so much negative going on in the world. And my life ended up being very negative. So I'm talking about my experience. And but once a negative feeling or emotion stays with you, the next step in negative emotion becomes an action. And let me ask you this. Have you ever had a thought, and you guys out there think about this too, have you ever had a thought that was, because a thought turns into an emotion, it's got to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So if it doesn't go anywhere, then it starts spinning in our head. We create a story, or we create a scenario that's never even happened.
That, or sometimes you keep it in so much and more goes in until you're ready to just explode.
Exactly.
And that can be ugly.
Exactly. And with my experience and what I'll share with you here in just a minute, It affects my relationships.
Definitely.
It absolutely affects my relationships because already if I go out, I'm on guard with you. You only get in so far because you're not going to hurt me. And I've already created a story in my mind or created a scenario, you're going to hurt me. So a lot of times either I've hurt you first or you don't get very far. I keep it very light, keep it very airy, and we don't talk about personal. So we were designed to have emotions, and if we don't keep ourselves in check and figure ourselves out, we lose out on the greatest gift that we were given, and that's relationships with each other. So anyway, a negative emotion becomes an action. An action is going to determine your habits, and your habits are going to create your character, and your character is going to determine your destination. And I want to share with you a story. Now, this is not going to be your story, but I want you to try to think about something in your life that you had an emotion, a negative emotion, that turned into an action that determined a destination. And I want to share with you real quick. I was 11 years old. First of all, I had an Uncle Wayne. He's gone now, but he was a Palmer graduate chiropractor. We grew up a very alternative family. We do things, we get to the root cause of the problem first before we try anything else. And Uncle Wayne would have lectures every month to grow his practice. So 11 years old in my generation, we want to be outside playing with our friends.
Definitely.
Well, I didn't. I was like so enthralled with him. He had one of those personalities that he had such a light about him, people were just drawn to him. And he was such a good old boy and just loved on people and hugged on people, and he was a good chiropractor. And he talked to us about chiropractic and nutrition. I can remember sitting his lectures, 11 years old, and I would say two things. I want a man like Uncle Wayne, and I want to be a chiropractor someday. So let's speed it up. 2 weeks before graduation in high school, 2 weeks, I got called to the office, and the office told me that I was lacking a credit from 10th grade, or half a credit, or whatever it was, that I would not be able to walk down the aisle with my class. That I could go to summer school, make it up then, but sorry, rules were rules, and I couldn't walk down the aisle. What did that do? And what do a lot of us do when we feel a trauma or we feel a shock? We want to talk about it, we want to tell our friends, we want to tell our families, we want everybody to be on board with us, whoever will listen. Well then, okay, you get over your pity party and you figure out, okay, we got a problem, that stinks, so let's just do what we got to do and dust yourself off and move on. That did not happen with me. This right here created more anger, created more frustration, created more of all those emotions and feelings. I got angrier, and I'm doing this. I ain't doing your summer school, and you know what I'm talking about. Without saying words, my sign language. What did that do? That didn't hurt them any. As soon as they went home, after telling me that day, they forgot about me, and here I'm holding that in, and it became a wound. It became a sore. And that created my destination. And if any of you grew up in the 80s, that was my era, I don't have to tell you how my life turned out. In fact, all you 80s people, if you ever heard you'll know what this comes from, Party Till It's 1999. I did that and some. Because of one emotional thought. And it created a wound. So back in 2010, I opened up my first massage. I became a massage therapist, closest that I could do to chiropractic. And massage and chiropractic work hand in hand together. So I was trying to get as close to my Uncle Wayne as possible. So 2010, I opened up a clinic in Kerrville. And I had just been open not too long ago, and a client comes out, and she's like, oh, It felt so good. She said, you've got hands like a chiropractor. You should have been a chiropractor. Boom. That triggered something in here, and I got angry. And the lady's like, she goes, I'm sorry. She says, I didn't mean to make you mad. What just happened? That hour of me working on her, getting all her tension out, et cetera, just triggered something in her. Now she just released that cortisol, that flight or fight hormone, ruined her whole massage. I didn't know what happened. So I'm like, well, I'm just trying to think of something off the top of my head. I said, oh, well, my uncle was a chiropractor and, he's passed away. And she's like, oh, okay, I'm trying to justify. So I just let it go. Well, in this office, the first of the year, the same scenario happened again.
Really?
Same scenario, very same one. Lady comes in, get done with her massage, and she says, oh, that was so awesome. She says, you have great hands. You should have been a chiropractor. This time, it triggered sadness. I didn't cry, but it's however my emotions were led that day is why I got sad. So then I had already kind of been studying this, trying to figure out the root causes of why my personality is how come relationships are not working out? How come, just all kinds of things. So I knew then there was a problem. And so again, I just justified all my uncle in. So what I'm here to say is that was my story. And hurting people, the pain and the wounds, and they've got to come out somewhere. It's like an infection. If you don't take care of the sore, it's going to come out. It's going to come out in anger. It's going to come out and manifest itself in many different ways. So that's why I'm talking about emotions, because we all have emotions.
We do.
And so many people don't understand why they get angry or why they have triggers, and even in relationships.
That's what I was about to say. Look how it affects relationships.
Oh yeah, it's affected every one of mine, because there's two emotional people that can't even understand their own stuff.
Well, and like you said, those people were giving you a compliment, and they meant that in, like I said, a complimentary way. And I find it sad that it affected you that way rather than for the way that it was meant to build you up.
Exactly.
And so you're right, when you get all those emotions within, you're not receiving all those things that build you up and make you feel good because of past hurts or
That's right.
Whatever
And
led you down that path.
That's right. And it goes into relationships, but I'm not even going to get into that. That'll be as I'm learning that. But I've learned why relationships haven't worked for me, because I can't even get myself out of the way, let alone, to try to be in a correct relationship that you should be helping each other,
Yes.
building each other up.
We should all be doing that.
Absolutely. But a lot of times they'll say something to me, it'll trigger anger or trigger response. I'm doing the same thing to them. It's just chaos. So today, not only are we dealing with emotions that we don't even understand in us, we're dealing with either spouses or boyfriends, girlfriends, it goes both ways. Maybe dealing with that, not to mention what's going on in our country today. And so we're getting crazy whammied with emotions today. So that's why I feel like I'm being led, and some of you may not know what that means, being led, and we'll talk about it. In the right timing, that will come out of what I mean by that. But right now, I just kind of wanted to talk about what emotions are, what I'm learning, and how passionate I am, and we will have more talks about that, especially when Mimi comes back. There's emotions on why we emotionally eat, for example, why we have addictions. Addictions are huge. They cover up deep-seated wounds, which that's another whole topic. But right now we've got some products. I'm going to turn it over to Paula because she is the owner of the store. And these are some things that will help you.
That may help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the emotions. So.
Yeah. Like Angela said, this world is a crazy place right now. A lot going on. A lot of people being isolated because of COVID. And when that very first came along, I looked at my husband and I said, oh, this is going to hurt the mental health or mental well-being of a lot of people by being isolated. We need people.
Absolutely.
We need relations, relationships, you know, and interactions with people. And so we do have some products that may be very helpful. There we have literature all through the store. The majority of it is free. So you're welcome to come in. We have books that talk about stress. We have pamphlets that talk about particular products. Some of the products that we have here, for example, the Serenity formula has some ashwagandha in it, I believe, that helps just soothe and calm you down. Some of them just kind of help take the edge off, you know. Sometimes you're
That's
kind
what I
of
like,
tight
the edge
and
off.
you just need to mellow a little
Yes,
bit,
absolutely.
you know. Syntheanine is an awesome supplement that's very good about helping from here down. You know, sometimes you're just clenched and you're tight, you just can't relax. You're just so full of stress. And syntheanine is really good about helping, you know, you to loosen up, be calm. GABA is really good from here up. Sometimes our minds just go and go and go, and like you were saying, we form those little stories,
Yep.
you know, and like I think about, you know, something's happening, and I bet they're going to say this, and I'm going to say that. Is that what you were talking about?
Yes.
Done it
Man.
many, many times. I'm not proud to admit it, but yeah, and I've been reading for my little comments, and then usually it doesn't even work that way. So, and I'm grateful because sometimes my heart's not in the right spot either, and so those
Absolutely
things don't
correct.
always need to be said. But anyway, GABA helps slow that mind down. It can also help you to sleep because sometimes we just can't turn it off. So this might be helpful. There's a lot of people who keep some of these in their pocket when they feel that their mind's just going and they need to focus in. They'll just reach in, pop one. They're chewable. Chew it up. Give it a while. If you need another one, take another. They're safe for children 4 years and up. A lot of parents will also use these to help with some attention problems to help kids focus in. So that's a good one. Anxiocalm can even be given to dogs. You know, our dogs have some anxiety sometimes.
Absolutely.
But anyway, Anxiocalm is an awesome supplement that again
cool.
helps you to settle and relax. So there's so many different ways. Not one product fits all. You know, we're all different. Some things work better for others, you know, or for some than others. The saffron is awesome for helping with your mood. I'm going to cheat here and look on the box a little bit. It helps with a positive state of mind, a healthy response to stress, restful sleep, and it also helps with healthy serotonin, cortisol, and GABA levels. So that's a very, very nice supplement as well. I believe said that you like this
I
one.
love this one. I've used this for years. Rescue Remedy, it's Bach flowers. That's all it is flowers. And it's a spray. You spray it on your tongue, and it kind of feels like maybe you've had a couple glasses of wine
Oh yeah,
without the buzz.
that's what ashwagandha does for me.
Okay.
It just smooths me out, relaxes me. It's really cool what natural things, like you said, flowers or you know, natural substances, what they can do for you and how they can change your
Yes. And there's no side
whole-
effects.
no.
There's no.
right.
Right.
So you know,
Nothing's
there's
gonna hurt you.
a lot of good positives about it. Mental Sunshine's one, and then we have Sunny Mood. So we have a lot of wonderful ladies in here who know the products. They'd be glad anytime you want to come in. They can show you anything that you want, give you literature. You know, we always would, we like it when people want to read and study about it first. You know, we're not here just to make you buy. We want what's best for you.
That's right.
So if something's not working, let us know. We'll keep working until we find what we can do to help you.
That's right.
But getting to the root of it's the most important thing.
Amen.
All this is great
Yes.
and wonderful, but you've got to get to the root of the problem.
That's right.
And so, and many times that involves working with your healthcare provider.
That's right.
We're not substitutes for that. So, anyway.
Well, we want to thank you and just kind of give you something to think about until we meet again. That where we are today, whether good or bad or somewhere in between, started out with a thought that created emotion that created you in the action that you are now. So we are going to talk about this again. I'm, like I said, learning about this, passionate about it, and anything that I learn, I want to share with you. You can get a hold of us at, watch our videos at Health Reborn and RE-BORN. That is my business Facebook page. Instagram, Health Reborn 22. And what's your website? I keep forgetting. Nature's Presence.
Nature'sPresenceBernie.com is our website. And we have a Facebook page and an Instagram page under Nature's Presence.
All right, so there's many ways that you can see our videos. And oh, really quick, I know we're running out of time. Where did I put my books?
Where'd you put your what?
Those books that I had.
Oh.
Sorry, give me just a second.
And not only that, you know, if you need to ever come in and just be around, well, I've got the greatest group of women here, and we have Ronnie too. I'm sure you'll appreciate the way I said that. But anyway.
Can't forget Ronnie.
No, we can't forget Ronnie. But anyway, very positive environment in here. Just to come and, you know, get some positive vibes and
That's
have
right.
someone listen to you. We're here for you.
That's right. And we need that because we don't have that
do.
anymore. These are some really quick references that I have helped me. I love to read
I do too.
or listen to videos or watch. But Deadly Emotions, can you see this, Michelle? Deadly Emotions by Don Colbert. Excellent, excellent, excellent resource. Very, very good if you like to read. Managing Your Emotions, Joyce Myers. Joyce Myers is one of my favorites. And she's got a book too, I forgot to bring it. It's called Battlefield of the Mind. That's an excellent, excellent resource that talks about emotions and stinking thinking and all that kind of thing. Creflo Dollar is one of my absolute favorites as well. He's got a few books out. I'm watching his videos now, all about emotions and things like that. Go on his website. There's all kinds of things. So all these things will help you kind of with your emotional stuff. And along with us, as we learn, we share. So thank you for watching, everybody. It was a pretty long video. Usually they will not be this long, but we thank you for tuning in and staying with us. We love you, and God bless. Till next time.